guys having a good time so far? Yes, yes, yes. Well, thank you all for coming. One of the best days of my life was the day that I failed the California bar exam. It truly was, and you'll see why. I've gotten 3 degrees from the University of San Diego. I've gotten my law degree, my bachelor's of accountancy, and my LLM, all from this amazing institution and paid for by my wonderful family. My father couldn't be here today. He usually never misses, but unfortunately he's in the hospital today, so it's a little emotional that he can't be here today. But it was all because of him. He came to this country in 1961. He came here with $30 in his pocket, not knowing English, worked hard, saved money, invested so that he could send all of his kids to college and do everything for him. And then my mother right over there who worked hard and was a homemaker and who cared for all of us so that we could attend this wonderful university. So after failing the bar exam, all these thoughts were going through my head. Will I be one of those people that ever passes the bar exam? All these years of living life that was so easy, and now it all came down to a scratching halt. I'd always wanted to be a lawyer, and now I don't know if I'm ever gonna be a lawyer. But what did it do to me? It humbled me. It humbled me and made me a better person. At first, I started to question everything about myself. Am I being a good Catholic? Is God mad at me? Should I go to confession? Why did this happen to me? It made me appreciate my friends. It made me appreciate my wonderful family. It made me appreciate all the people that were there for me to support me when I was down at the worst time of my life. They helped me, they carried me, they got me back on my feet. So then I buckled down, studied again, and fortunately, I passed the bar exam. But then after, thank you. 2 times a charm. And then so after I passed the bar exam, you'd think life would be a little bit easier after that. But I couldn't get a job. They wouldn't hire me. They were only hiring the top 10% of the school. So I picked up the phone and I called, so one of my neighbors, who I used to live down in the dog patch, and by USD in college, and gave me a call, and his mother had a tax problem. She owed about $300,000 to the IRS, and he picked up the phone and called me. He said, Ronnie, can you help out my mom? She owes $300,000. I said, well, I'm a tax lawyer, so I should be able to help her, although I didn't even know what I was gonna do, but I said, I'll take the case, I'll help your mom. And I picked up the phone and I called Richard Carpenter. Richard Carpenter was a professor here. He was a full-time professor and a full-time lawyer, had his own tax law firm. Picked up the phone, gave him a call, and I said, I have this friend who has a tax problem. Can we work on it together? I'll give you all the money. I just want to help my friend, and I want to learn. He said, let's go have lunch. We went and had lunch, and he said, what are you doing in life? I said, well, I'm working a courtesy job. I was working a part-time job for my dad's lawyer, who gave me a job because he felt sorry for me. It was just kind of a temporary job until I found my job as a tax attorney. And he said, why don't you start your own law firm? And I will help you. I will help you with the small cases that I don't want. I will help you with whatever cases you bring in, and I will help you start your own firm. So then I picked up the phone and I called my father and I said, Dad, there's this professor. He has his own practice and he's willing to help me out. Should I start my own firm? And my dad said, go for it. I mean, if he's a professor, he must know what he's doing. So go ahead and start your own firm. So my dad gave me the seed money. And there she wrote, I started my own firm, hung up a shingle, and started my own firm. And when I started my own firm, I had no clients, I had no money. I was taking any case that came in the door, 1 at a time, 2 at a time. Finally, a little bit after a little bit, 1 client came in, 2 clients came in, and then I ended up hiring 1 attorney and then 2 attorneys. And then within 10 years, I ended up growing that firm to the largest tax law firm in San Diego. But once I reached that point, such a nice crowd. I didn't know I was going to get a... It's making this a lot easier up here. But once I reached that point, I said to myself, I want to do what my family has done for me. I want to do what Richard has done for me. I want to be able to give back. I want to be there for people that need help. Like Richard helped me start my career, like my family was there to help me. It created a giving, helping attitude in myself. So I picked up the phone and I called the current dean of the law school and I told him my passion. I said, I want to teach. I want to help others. I interviewed with Dean Ferrullo, and he ended up giving me a job as an adjunct faculty member in the law school. And then I approached this amazing business school, knowing that accounting students needed help in tax, and I asked them to teach a tax class for the accounting students, and they ended up hiring me. And then I ended up serving on both boards and then starting a tax institute. But how did I go from failing the bar exam, not being able to find a job, to where I am today, a professor at this amazing university? It was a few basic principles that my father taught me at a young age. He said to me, son, if you don't work hard, you're never gonna make it. And if you work hard, you might make it. So you better work hard. So I'll say it again. If you don't work hard, you're never gonna make it. And if you work hard, you might make it. So you better work hard. He said, working hard doesn't kill you. Stress kills you. Working hard is like exercise. It makes you stronger. It was that work ethic that I followed from when I became a lawyer to help me get to where I am today, in addition to lending a helping hand. When I started my firm, I wanted any client that would come into the door. I would do things for cheap, do things for free, helping these clients that didn't have any money, and I didn't have any money either. So I would help them. And it turns out that all those clients, those first 2 or 3 or 4 years of my practice that I helped, that didn't have much money, turned out to be the ones who sent me the most business throughout my whole life. And also another point that I would like to make as part of the other principles that I learned from my father is believing. You have to believe in anything that you strive for. Anything that you're gonna try to do in life, you have to believe it before it happens. If you're gonna try to negotiate a business deal, if you're trying to get something, whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish, if you don't believe in your heart that it's gonna happen, it won't happen. So anything that you attempt in life, believe it in your heart, because that belief in your heart will portray upon the people that you are negotiating with. And also compassion. In the day of retail, it's all about customer service. But if you're in a career that is service-oriented, it's compassion. It's showing compassion for the work that you do and the people that you serve. I teach all my young attorneys at my law firm, whenever they are working a case for a client, to think of their client as if they were their own mother and father, to fight for them like they're their own. If you put that mindset in you, you will notice that you will try a little harder, push a little further, and work as hard as you can to get those results. And also having a giving attitude. Learn to give, learn to help. It's always so hard whenever we all need help, but all of us need help. But when we practice a life of giving, a life of helping, ultimately whatever we need help with will all come together. And so those were the principles that made 2 bad days of my life that I thought were the worst days of my life that turned out to be 2 of the best days of my life. Thank you.